Morning, folks. Today's soap is from RazoRock. This one here is the Unlabeled Project. This is a glass container, a heavy glass container at that. It's got an aluminum lid, and there's the bottom of it. I don't know if it'll focus well enough for you to see. It's like 250 milliliters or 8.5 ounces. And right now it's retailing for about $14.99, $15. So for 4 ounces, you're looking at what? $7.50 for 4 ounces of goodness here. This, just like typical of any of the other soaps that come in this heavy glass, it's a very soft soap. I mean, it is really easy to scoop out, really soft. You could push your finger all the way through to the bottom, but definitely an excellent value. I think the scent on this is supposed to be lightly scented Preshave. I think that's supposed to be the scent. My nose this morning is not the best in the world. I've got it whipped up here in a Crown King scuttle here with a horsehair knot brush, Vie Long. And I do pick up the scent. It's they are right on the money as it goes for being lightly scented, at least per my nose. Somebody else's could be different, but mine, it's it's always a challenge some days. What's left of my Allen block from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, rubber band's long been gone. And yeah, as big as that is, I'm sure it's going to last through Christmas. It's going to be a while before I break out the new one. You got the Humphrey's witch hazel that came unscented or anything like that, but I do have menthol and peppermint in it now. And I also got the matching aftershave that is unlabeled also. For me, if you're real big on the pictures and whatnot, labels are great. It's not a requirement for me. It can come unlabeled, especially at this kind of value. I think if I remember right, the aftershave is running at $10. And today I'm going to be using a Treet Platinum blade, and I'm going to be using it in the Razorine. This one here is the brass version. It's raw, so in other words, over time it's going to have patina on it, or it'll discolor. But the upside of this, you can polish it to your liking. Don't have to worry about the coating because there isn't any. That's what it looks there on the back side. I don't know if it'll focus with the showing what the blade looks like, but it does have the safety bars on both sides. I've already put a hot towel to the face this morning, and my Preshave oil, I'll show you what it comes in. This is what I've been using, and as well as this particular scent, and I transferred it over into a container from Vie Long, and that's about all I got left. This particular container, if you can see, that's the reason why I like this one, besides the fact you can regulate how much you're squirting out, how much you're using each time, but also that tube runs all the way down the corner, so you're getting basically every last little bit out of there. Just thought throw that out there. It's one of my favorite containers when it comes to this sort of thing. I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Excuse me. Weather here has been it's been messing with everybody's noses. Almost everybody is having some sort of issue. Yesterday, Sunday, just beautiful weather. The high was up in the 70s. Very nice day. Just a beautiful day. Today, we're expecting, which we do already have, winds and maybe even a snow flurry. Temperature could be, last time I looked, the high was supposed to be either in the upper 30s or low 40s, but with the wind chill will be somewhat lower. But yeah, the Oklahoma weather, it's pretty typical. When I first looked at it on Sunday morning, they were predicting the high today to be 37. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting day, and also it's Veterans Day, so happy Veterans Day to all the veterans that are out there. Definitely have a certain appreciation for the veterans. My family is deep into military service. This knot, I don't know what size it is. It's I wouldn't say 20 millimeter. It's not a real big knot. It works well for me. And this lather took no time to whip up. It was pretty nice. It's fun to watch it mature. That's one of the things I enjoy about bowl lathering, is watching how it goes from a shaving cream or a shaving soap into a really nice lather. And it's a little on the wet side. It's not drippy. That is one thing I should mention about the soap. I noticed that when I was working it up, it does seem like it will take some water. Something to, you know, when you're whipping this up, you will start out with just a little bit of water and then work your way up to it. As it goes for this blade, I have been, how can you say, somewhat surprised of this blade. Didn't have high expectations. Didn't really know what to expect, but this particular blade I've used a few times, and it seems to have a pretty smooth shave to it. I was kind of surprised, and RazoRock has been offering sales on their products. They're moving. I think they're up to 9 weeks now. We're down to 9 weeks. They started their sales with 12 weeks, and I think, I think this is the week. It'll be 9 weeks. They have plan on moving, so they're selling a lot of their stuff. That's how I got started on these, is trying these blades, and I'm glad I got them. These are pretty good blades. Good value too. Guess you might say it was a pleasant surprise. Now, I've had this hope for a moment. I've been going through, went through the month of October with just one artisan, and then there was an appreciation week, and I was part of that also. For Vanulay. So I've had this soap for a good moment. Just been waiting for the right time to use it. Yes, the wind has been whipping around pretty good. As a matter of fact, we are under a wind advisory. I can hear it rustling the leaves and whatnot outside every once in a while. I was kind of wondering if we were going to be able to pick it up on the camera. I think it's died off just a little bit since I got up this morning. But when I first got up, it was pretty strong. It does have a little bit of feedback with this blade, but it is very smooth. Like I said, I'm pleasantly surprised on how well it shaves. I can't remember how much I paid for the. I think I got a 200 pack if I remember right. I bought a whole, in other words, a slug of them, several of them at one time. That was what the bulk of my order was razor blades, because they had a pretty good sale on them. For me, this particular shaver is pretty easy to use. I don't feel like it's how you say a super, a real learning curve to it. It does have the safety bar, and that's something probably the hardest thing for somebody, for it to click in their mind, that even though it appears to be a shavette, it does have the safety bars on there, and learning how to use those safety bars with the angle, I think, might be a challenge for some folks. Still got some chunks of soap in there. It's not real difficult to learn, in my opinion, especially if you'd already done some shavette shaving, or if you're just now learning. Like I say, the biggest curve is is to learn how to use that safety bar to your advantage. It'll help if you learn how to use it with nicks and cuts and stuff like that. The closeness of your shave. It is designed, from what I understand, the best, in my opinion, from my experience, it is designed for a person that uses one hand throughout their shave, if you're kind of wondering about the whole thought process behind it. So this right here, in other words, might throw some people off, but if you're used to shaving with one hand like I am, it becomes pretty easy to learn how to keep that on the outside. I think sometimes it's a lot of just mental preparation for the shave with this one here. If you can just visualize, like in other words, when I was going up to there, if you can just visualize the handle coming out where that screw is at and keeping that angle, it'll make a world of difference, in my opinion. For me, that's what helped me out quite a bit, to help with the angle and just getting past the just the fact that this looks like a DE on a stick. It's a lot to wrap your mind around. But once you know, like I say, you get past that point mentally on how this is designed, it's really easy to use. But it took me a little while to get used to the fact that it does have safety bars and, use them. It took a moment. Like I say, it is a little bit to wrap your mind around. Everybody's, as it goes for the band for 2021, Broken Arrow's band, high school band, has been invited to go to the Rose Parade and in 2021 in January. And everybody's pretty excited about it now, also trying to figure out how you're going to make that happen. Oklahoma to California, you got all that stuff that's going to be going that direction, lodging, transportation, just all kinds of logistical stuff that you got to get worked out, as well as the parents, especially those that want to go. And of course, you know, my wife's wanting to go. I think we're supposed to have a meeting, what they refer to as a booster club meeting, parents meeting, tomorrow, Tuesday. And hopefully maybe there'll be some more information there, because it would make a certain amount of sense if everybody packaged together something, in other words, for all the parents that are wanting to go, make a package deal, I guess you might say, to get to California. I know my wife is going to be interested, or probably wanting to fly. We're one of the last states. I tell you, sometimes, I do wonder about our politicians and whatnot. We're one of the last states to have what they call a real ID. We still have, I guess you might say, that an ID that is not accepted by the federal government as it goes for ID, especially if you plan on flying. So if we don't have that in a timely manner, I think what we'll end up having to have is a passport. So I know that's going to be a detail that'll need to be worked out if she wants to fly. For me, I enjoy driving. When we drove to St. Louis, it was how you say, interesting. I enjoy seeing the lay of the land. because if you've never been to that part of Missouri, it does look different. For me, I had when I was in the Army, my basic training was in Fort Leonard Wood and in Missouri. So we went kind of sort of by the general area where I was at. That particular area, it's good size, covers a lot of acreage, and but the hills, the trees, it is really beautiful, but it is a little hilly. And you know, if you're not used to traveling through something like that, it is a sight to see. Witch hazel feels great this morning. Not that it doesn't some mornings, but some mornings it feels better than other mornings. Still feels great, just more so on certain days, but boy howdy. Must hit just the right amount of peppermint this morning. Feels great. Like I said, this is the unlabeled version. If they come out with some more, I definitely will be interested in it, because in my opinion the value is just right up there. I mean, like I said, $7.50 for 4 ounces. The soap is really soft, easy to whip up the lather. Didn't dry my face out. Nice post-shave feel. I really like the soap that they put in these containers. To me, they're just the best. If I was to narrow down the soap I would be getting from Italian Barber, the RazoRock lineup, I would stick to anything they can bring out in the heavy glass. That's the one I would go for, in my opinion. Not even disappointed at all. The lightly scented soap in aftershave, for some folks that might be a little bit of a letdown, but for me, the way I kind of look at it is you also have to be concerned when you're preparing something like this for the masses of the folks. Not everybody's going to be able to put up with or be able to tolerate a strong scented soap, but the aftershave is, I don't know if I would consider it lightly scented, because I don't have a problem smelling it this morning. It smells great. Not the best at describing scents, especially if it's very complex. I do put a little bit of description down below. I'll put links to all this neat stuff if you're interested in it. Make it easier for you to find. The great enabler, right? Really nice shave this morning. Happy Veterans Day once again. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.